thanks for jumping back into the cryptoverse. Again,
everyone, thanks for jumping.
Anyone left, right? Not that anyone left, because I don't think anyone's leaving the cryptoverse right now. No rest for the weary. Alright. Bitcoin reminds everyone that it is king and it will bow to no other cryptocurrency. It is now at 35,582, 35,590. The current all-time high is 35,868. And we'll see if we can break 36K. So the party continues. We'll see how high this can take us. We're not so far away now, right? We're not as far away from this band up here as we have been. We're about 20K away, a cool 20K away. Coincidentally, the prior price of Bitcoin a few weeks ago. So this is definitely a crazy time for Bitcoin. We're all going to look back at this time at some point in the future and remember fondly being a part of this ride. Let's see how high it can take us. Okay, we'll see how high it can take us. Maybe we'll get up here. Maybe we won't. But the upper part of this band up here is 81K or so. The lower part of the band is 55K, and I mean, so 50. So if we were to go to 50, if we were to go to 40K, it's only another a modest 12%. To get to 50K, it's a modest 41%. To get to the upper regression band, the lower bound, it's a modest 52%, and to get to the upper part of the regression band, it's a modest 128%. So this just gives you the idea of how high some of the targets potentially, right? I mean, 36K. I've seen 36K mentioned a lot. 40K seems pretty substantial. That's twice the prior all-time high. 50K seems a bit absurd at this point. So in terms of basically being 5 days into 2021, but here we are. Ethereum is 1123. So the good thing about this type of a move is that, well, the bad thing for Ethereum in the short term means that, well, Ethereum dominance goes down. Ethereum's valuation against Bitcoin goes down, and it has been trending down. It's still doing okay. It's at 0.0316, which is off the December bottom. At least let's just go with so the December bottom was here at 0.0227. So we're well off of that area. And from the remember the end of December video, Ethereum is still up around 39% against Bitcoin, which is pretty substantial, right? If we look at the dominance of Bitcoin, it has come down substantially as well since then, all the way down to 7.5% at the bottom. Now it's down about 5%, give or take, right? Give or take, we're still down about 5% from the local top, which, as we also said, was the top from the summer, more or less. We went slightly higher this time, but it was the top from the summer of 2019. So here we are. We're at a $35,399 Bitcoin. Has anyone gotten a full night's sleep in 2021? Just curious. Ethereum is at 1119. The nice thing for Ethereum is that now it doesn't even have to outperform Bitcoin to get to $1,200, right? It can just be dragged up by Bitcoin. So there are some good things, meaning that in the short term, Ethereum doesn't need to even have an explosive move up relative to the market, because it likely will just be dragged up by Bitcoin. And then, so maybe it gets dragged up to 1,200 by Bitcoin, and then if Bitcoin calms down again, I don't know when Bitcoin's going to calm down at this point. I mean, if you look at the chart, it really hasn't taken a breather since October. So it's a crazy market, right? It's a crazy market. We know these bubbles form. That's why we're here. It's exactly why we're here, to make money in the market, and to follow Bitcoin as it continues on the path that it's always been on, right? The path that it's always been on. So we're going to keep a close eye on Ethereum. Maybe we'll see a $1,200 Ether. I think I might be starting to lose my voice. There's only so many 3-hour live streams I can do. But we're looking at an 1126 Ether. Ether's cooking, right? Ether's cooking. Clearly the target for Ether is 1400. Okay, I don't know why. I don't know why Kraken has it up to 1600. I guess Kraken has some pretty interesting wicks. Let's get this back over to Coinbase. So the prior top is around 1426 or so, give or take a few bucks, right? What's a few bucks among friends? Bitcoin is closing in on a new all-time high potentially. We're just $200 shy of it. Ethereum, 1400 is the target, right? I mean, clearly 1200 is a good stepping stone. 1300, fine. 1400 is where we want to go, and ultimately exceed that. Super bullish on Ethereum for sure. As measured from the 20-week. So as measured from the bull market support, let's go with the 20-week. Bitcoin on the weekly time frame is up 111%. These values will change if you look at it on a daily time frame, just because it's averaging days rather than weekly closes. But as measured from this level, it's up 111%. Ethereum, as measured from its same associated level, is up around 117%. So they're pretty much on par right now in terms of extension from the 20-week moving average. 8 is also being a champ today. If we look at it, it is up to almost 27 cents. So especially congratulations to everyone who have been holding ADA, since less than 2 cents. You're well up over an order of magnitude at this point. Hopefully we can make it another order of magnitude by the end of the cycle. But DOT, it looks like, also picking up the slack here. We got a $10 DOT. So hopefully if you guys were accumulating DOT, $3 to $6, like we discussed, maybe your cost basis is around $4.50 or so. That's where mine is. It's a modest 2x. Hopefully we can keep that going. And then Link, obviously out of the main 5 I cover, it has been the local underperformer. It had a great 2020, but so far during this move, it has been an underperformer. It's still been okay against USD, but we do have high expectations, right? We pick coins with high expectations. We want them to perform. So hopefully, whenever Bitcoin calms down, right? If it calms down, maybe in 5 years at this rate, at that point maybe Link will go on a bit of a move itself, but at this point it's a Bitcoin party, and Ethereum is its best buddy, and it's tagging along, and I'm happy to see Ethereum showing strength. For the end of December, Bitcoin was moving up. Ethereum looked pretty weak. Now it's not looking nearly as weak. I mean, it's at 1123. yes, it's come down a little bit, but it's still up 40% against Bitcoin since December 27th. So it's still doing pretty well. Um, it's nice to see around a $10 dot. I do think that I do. It's not financial advice, right? It's not financial advice. I'm not buying dot anymore. I would be very cautious to anyone entering the market at this point in any cryptocurrency. Actually, it doesn't mean that you won't make money. In fact, there's a decent chance that you would, given that everything seems to be, appreciating. I one of the things I say a lot on the channel is, nothing goes up monotonically, right? And when I say monotonically, if you're not familiar with that, it just means that if something's going up, it never actually dips back down, right? It just continues to go up. So I typically say, like, Ben, I should get this framed or something, like Ben quoting, nothing goes up monotonically, and then Bitcoin saying, hold my beer, right? I mean, yes, it has dipped down a couple times, but I mean, mostly this is just straight up, right? It's just straight up at this point. So Bitcoin again does not care about what anyone thinks, and it will do whatever it wants to. So here we are sitting at a $35,000 Bitcoin, the local top or the global top. I should stop saying local because now we're at a global top. 35,000. 860, the global top is 35,868 and 69 cents. We will see if we can put in a new top during the stream. Maybe we'll go to 36,000. Someone said, explain Tesla if nothing goes up monotonically. I can't really explain that. I think at this point, people are essentially evaluating Tesla as taking over the entire world, which, I mean, maybe what it is what's priced in at this point to Tesla could just be that they think that it's going to be basically the entire future, or a huge future of the auto industry, which there's a good chance that it is. I own Tesla, and I did take some off the table a while back. Obviously, it's gone up since then. I've been letting the rest ride for a few months. I still own it. If you think that you have to be in crypto to see crazy moves, just take a look at the Tesla chart, right? Take a look at the Tesla chart, and it'll show you that is simply not true. If we look, let's just briefly look. We're gonna quickly jump out of the cryptoverse, so maybe hold your breath for a second, and we'll get right back in it. If you look at Tesla, if you think you have to be in the cryptoverse to see insane gains, Tesla has printed an 1,869% move since May of 2019. So don't think that you have to be in the cryptoverse to see gains like this. Okay, this has been a hell of a ride too, and I do own Tesla, and we'll see where it takes us. So an 1,800% move over about 600 days. Hopefully you guys held your breath as we jumped into a different universe, the Teslaverse. We've re-entered the cryptoverse, so all is well again on the channel. Sometimes we venture out. We used to venture out of the cryptoverse. Sometimes we would go to the equityverse. Sometimes we would go to the precious metalverse. But over the last few weeks, we don't really have a lot of time to venture too far out of the cryptoverse, just because of how hot the cryptoverse is. It's like there's a lot of supernovas or something, and it's just going crazy right now. But the idea is to go where the money is, right? Go where the bull market is, and find the most attractive risk-adjusted returns. And so far, that has been crypto. As we continue this move, I'm wondering how long this move will be sustained. But we'll follow it for as long as it does, for sure. So DOT's still sitting, chilling at around $10. 8 has been a champ today, up, all the way down from 20 cents earlier today, right? I mean, just earlier today, it was at 20 cents. So a modest 30% move. Are we really surprised? No. We've said all along Cardano is a good hedge against Ethereum. and that it's worth holding. I mean, you're going to see more. You'll probably see more volatility than Ethereum, more negative volatility too. But you expect to see. Hopefully, we expect to see a higher return. If we don't see a higher return, then again, it calls into question why do we hold it. So we have high expectations for all the coins we hold. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Link, ADA, and DOT are the main ones that I hold. Very high expectations. If they start underperforming over long periods of time, then they get cut, right? Don't marry a coin. Don't marry a coin. It's one of the worst things you can do. I've seen a lot of people do it. I've seen a lot of people throw money into coins back from 2017, and they're still throwing money into them, and they've done nothing but bleed against Bitcoin and bleed against USD. Don't marry a coin. That's my opinion. You can disagree. But be pragmatic in your choices. Sometimes it's best to figure out which are the racehorses that you own. What are the donkeys? Cut the donkeys, keep the racehorses. It's as simple as that. And you might think, well, if there's already a coin that's performing well, why would I want to go after that? I don't believe in most technical analysis. I mean, I know I was doing some pretty epic 1 second technical analysis on the 3-hour live stream earlier. I'm just kidding. It was complete garbage. But I don't believe in most technical analysis, but if there's one thing I do believe in, it's momentum. And momentum, as we've said, is a hell of a drug, especially in crypto. So it is what it is, right? Momentum's a hell of a drug. As we said before, trying to short a market, which I think is ridiculous, in my own opinion. I understand people would disagree, but trying to short something like this is a fool's errand, because while I think it's smart to take profits, the general momentum is up, right? The general momentum is up, and in the same way that it's hard to catch a falling knife, as they say. I mean, who knew that 3,100 was the bottom, right? Who knew that? In the same way, it's hard to catch a falling knife. It's also hard to catch. I don't know what's a good analogy. It's also hard to pull a balloon down. I don't know. Maybe I'll think of something witty later, or someone else will come up with something and I'll steal it. But it's hard to know when the momentum's going to shift. So until weekly candles prove otherwise, and we start to see it come down on weekly time frames, the general momentum here remains up, right? It simply remains up, and so you need to take that into consideration. The same thing goes for Ethereum. The general momentum has been up since October, right? Since October. I think one of the interesting things is that when you look at moves like this, it's easy. Let me switch back to Kraken because it doesn't have the history. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Give the video a thumbs up. 275 likes is pretty absurd for 2,500 viewers. Just gonna throw that out there. Sorry. Anyways, if you look at say the Ethereum chart, we look at these moves and ooh and ah over them, right? We look at them and we are impressed by them. We say, this was a hell of a time. This was an amazing time too. Hopefully we can re-experience that. That's what we're doing. We're in it, right? We said, if you look at it, I mean, obviously 2020 as a whole was a roller coaster of emotions. But we're going to come back to this in a few years. And in the same way that we measure these moves, right? 2,700%, 5,400%, right? We're going to look at this and be like, okay, it's already up 1,000%. It's the Ethereum mountain range, right? My favorite mountain range. I don't know a mountain range I would prefer than the Ethereum mountain range. It's such an amazing spectacle, and I like seeing how high these mountain ranges will go. Sorry, I'm just checking the chat. Sorry. Okay, we got some trolls. I guess I gotta do slow mode. I always forget. Yeah, I've said before, right? I've said before that Bitcoin should be the majority, right? We talk about other cryptocurrencies, but I mean, it's not financial advice, but in my opinion, any portfolio that's in crypto, it's Bitcoin first, right? Bitcoin first, then look around. But Bitcoin first, and I'll keep that mentality until there's ever a reason to change it, and I don't think there will be in the short term. So that's just my thinking, right? I understand why people disagree. Well, I understand that people disagree. I don't necessarily understand why they disagree. But anyways, let's see where Ether Bitcoin is. We're still okay. We're at 0.0316. The ADA, let's check in on ADA, 26.7. This is a pretty nice move here. I mean, again, momentum, right? It's a pretty nice move. I mean, at this rate, if we continue, kind of going up like this, we could be at 30 cents tomorrow. It's pretty impressive. It's pretty impressive for ADA. So again, we pick the coins. We have high expectations. They better perform, otherwise they get cut, and no remorse for it. DOT still doing okay, right? Up 2 to 3x in the short term, and yeah, I mean, this is one that I think it's been consolidating around $10 for a while. If the market, if Bitcoin stays like this, I think it's really only a matter. I mean, it's not financial advice. I could be wrong, right? There's been plenty of things I'm wrong about, but it seems to me that with DOT, I mean, we're consolidating around $10. Honestly, there's a decent chance. I mean, if alt season really gets into gear, which at this point it won't until Bitcoin just chills out for a little bit. But if it ever did get into gear, I mean, we've definitely been in the beginning of altcoin season. Hopefully, it doesn't get cut short. But if it really does hit, then there's really is a good chance that this continues to just break out, right? And we'll look back, and this will just be kind of like the first stepping stone. We shuffle a little bit and then continue higher. So I have high expectations for DOT. It needs to perform. Otherwise, we can't hold it, right? I mean, imagine if DOT were still just going sideways at $3, $3, $4, $5, and you have other coins like Ethereum going up 2x in the last few weeks. Then it calls into question why you hold it. The main reason that I'm cutting Link some slack is because it's been a trooper this year. A trooper, right? It's already put in a 10x this year. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I mean, one 10x a year is pretty decent, right? And that's basically what Link does. Give it a year and it'll give you a 10x. That's historical data. I don't know if it's going to keep happening, but I mean, you just take a look, like bottom to top, right? That's 1,000% right there. This was on 2017 to 2018. Here's 2018 to 2019. That's 2,300%. That's like a 24x. Just give it a year, right? 2020, a 1,368% move, right? A 10x in a year, as long as that trend continues, that's great, right? This is what we're looking for. Give me a 10x in a year, and it can stay on the list. If it doesn't, right? If it stops performing, it gets cut. I don't think it will. I think that Link will trend much higher. Um, but I'm just giving you guys like the honest truth that if we hold the coins, especially in a bull market when the opportunity cost is ridiculous to hold anything over say Bitcoin or Ethereum, if we hold the coin, they better sure as hell perform at some point. Otherwise, we have to uh, reassess. But again, so far, I'm still happy with all of them. Link, if we go back and look, let's just be systematic about this. Measure it from March. Okay, we're measuring them from March. Remember to subscribe to the channel. Let's go for 90,000 subscribers. Give the video a thumbs up too. As measured from March, or no, this is December. This is the 1 hour time frame. I need to stop looking at 1 hour time frames. We'll do some 1 second TA at the end of the stream just for fun. As measured from the bottom. Currently, ADA is up a modest 1,459%. This justifies holding it, right? It more than justifies holding it. It's outperforming Ethereum. It needs to, at the very least, outperform Bitcoin. If it can't outperform Bitcoin, then it has to get cut, right? It has to get cut. Because if the volatility is higher than Bitcoin, to the downside anyways, when over the years. And so if it can't outperform Bitcoin during a bullish year, then it has to get cut. But it has outperformed it. It's 1,459%. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. 35.2. It's still chilling right here. So it's good, right? It's still good. 1,459%. Let's keep the party going. Link as measured from March. Let's measure it. We're going to be fair. We're going to measure them all from their capitulation wicks. Link is up 971%. Okay? However, its current valuation is not the top. ADA's current valuation is the top, and we took profits on Link earlier in the year. Okay? So if you were entirely fair and said, okay, we'll measure it to its local top, or its global top for 2020 or 2021, Link did a 1,429% move as well. So bottom to top for Link since March is 1,429%. Bottom to top for ADA since March is 1,459%. It's just that its top corresponds to today, whereas Link's top corresponded to earlier. One thing that I think is interesting, and I showed this on the premium list actually a while ago. Let me see if I can pull this up because I think it's actually really interesting. Well, is it interesting? Why is it? Oh. No, it's not working. Hold on a second. Just mingle for a little bit. Okay. So. So I haven't looked at this chart in a while. I'm trying to make sure it makes sense. I think it does. Let me just make sure this makes sense for a second. Okay. This is the ADA Link valuation. Okay, this is the ADA Link valuation. And if we just look at 2020, which is what matters now, we talked about this earlier, maybe about, I don't know, a month ago or something. And we noted that ADA's move, so again, we have high expectations for all the coins we follow. It's not necessarily absurd to look at their valuations against each other. We tend to look at ADA Bitcoin, Link Bitcoin, ADA Ether, Link Ether. But what if we look at ADA Link? It's such a crazy concept. It just might work. So ADA's move, right? ADA had a really significant move that ended in July. Okay, so it ended in July. If you look at the ADA Link valuation, what happened in July? Well, the ADA move started in April. And during that time, the ADA Link valuation was moving up. Okay? Sorry, we got someone promoting it. All right, so the ADA Bitcoin valuation from ADA Link valuation went up 110%. Okay, but then we know that Link's major move started a little bit later, right? And it peaked in August. So Link's move peaked in August, while ADA's move peaked in June. So about a 2-month difference. Okay, so it just has us wondering. Well, the ADA valuation against Link more or less peaked in June, right? And then we had a little bit of sideways movement. But then Link went on its own run 2 months later. Okay, so look at the similarities, right? So this was ADA's move against Link, and this was Link's move against ADA. And we were back down here. And remember, ADA peaked 2 months before Link. And now it's going back up. Okay, and it's been going back up, for a while now. If we measure from, say, here to the top, let's just go here, because that was the major move. It was about 100% move. And then it bled down, ultimately, 66%. Okay? And then, say, from this point, ADA's up against Link, about 137%. So, if history repeats, it might, maybe ADA's, again, ADA tends to move a bit more with the market than Link does. So maybe give it a couple months, and then we'll see the Link move, right? Something like that. Pure speculation. I don't really know. Do I really care if this happens? No, right? If Link does go to, say, up and ADA continues to outpace it, and ADA, ultimately beats it in the short term, who cares, right? I own both coins, but it's just something to consider. Bitcoin's at 35.3. Ethereum's at 11.16. So we'll see where things go. Someone asked, what's the fair value of Bitcoin in 2025? I think it was in 2025, the fair value of Bitcoin should be around, I believe it should be around 50K, maybe 50 to 60K in 2025, based on the logarithmic regression curve, of course. By the way, the total cryptocurrency market capitalization is 941 billion. So we're closing in on $1 trillion. During our live stream earlier today, we were at 920 billion. Now we're at 941. Based on historical data of our live streams and the cryptocurrency market cap, we need 3 more live streams to get to a $1 trillion market cap. So I'll try to do my part. You guys try to do yours. DOT is still about 985. I still feel like there's going to be one day I'm going to wake up and it's going to be like $12, $15 or something, but maybe I'm wrong. Not financial advice. Maybe I'm wrong. ADA's flirting with 20. It looks like it actually went up to 28. Yeah, ADA actually had a wick to 20, almost almost 29 cents. Why was I not told about this? I did not realize this. I did not, well, here it's not even showing it. It shows on here that ADA on Binance that had a wick to 28.95 cents. Make a wish. We're on 1111 Ether. Maybe we can get lucky and see 111111. I actually did see that earlier today, but I was too slow to get a screenshot of it. We didn't even finish, right? We did ADA. We did ADA from. We're gonna remove this one because we don't need it anymore. We did ADA from the bottom in March. I feel like I haven't slept since last year. I feel like I can say that because it's only 5 days into this year. So again, ADA from its bottom in March to its global top from 2020 to 2021, it's currently at around 1,495%. For Link, its global top so far occurred in August, but maybe it'll put in higher highs later this year. But it's up 1,429%. Ethereum, as measured from March, is up around 1,100%. So both Link and ADA since March have outperformed not only Bitcoin, but Ethereum. So Ethereum's been up over 1,100% since March. And Bitcoin is up around a modest 820%. But that's huge for Bitcoin, right? So Bitcoin's up 821% since March, which is less than Ethereum, and Ethereum had a lower price move than both ADA and Link. So everything's in line, everything makes sense. You might say, well, if Ethereum or Link or ADA have better returns, why not just invest in those and not in Bitcoin? Well, the reason is because of risk. It's all fun and games when things are going up, but when things crash, there's a lot of negative volatility, and the altcoins will suffer the most. So it's all about managing your risk. If you want to be more risky, you can do that, but I would not personally suggest it. I mean, I'm curious, like, do you have any, out of everyone watching the chat, there's over 2,600 people, how many people in the chat experienced watching their portfolio go up in 2017 to only watch it go back down in 2018? And if you were overexposed on altcoins, you would have done very badly during that time. Yeah, so there's a lot of people, right? And so that's the point of this channel, is we don't want people that are legitimately buying in like, at undervalued prices for years. We don't want these people to watch it come and go, right? We just simply don't want that to happen again. That's the point. That's the primary point of this channel, is to not let bubbles go to waste. Now, can we time the top of a bubble? No, we can't. We can't even come close to identically timing the top. And really no one can. What we can do is we make sure we take profits. They say yawning's contagious. I wonder if I yawned. How many of the 2,600 people also yawned? And sorry for yawning, but wanting crypto to take a day off. We'll see where DOT is. 987. ADA's still sitting shy at 27 cents, and Link is still less than $15. And Bitcoin slowed down a bit on the minute time frame, of course. Right, so Bitcoin has slowed down a little bit, and so since I started the stream, actually not a whole lot has happened. Right, we started the stream 40 minutes ago, so let's see exactly where we started the stream. So 40 minutes ago, so we started it right there. So since I came on, we haven't really seen much price action. Remember to subscribe. I feel like we had a huge rally. Yeah, we have 83,000 subscribers. Maybe we'll go for 84,000. We need 700 subscribers. Make sure you thumbs up the video and subscribe. All right, it's time for our short-term garbage TA. There we go. We'll see what happens. So maybe we'll bounce. Maybe we'll bounce here from 35.2. We could have a wick lower. The wicks have gone down to 35.1. So we'll see. We'll see if we bounce and come back up. Maybe to 35.4. Maybe back down. I don't day trade, but Ethereum 11.14. I gotta tell you, I mean, the Bitcoin rallies are fun, but I really enjoyed that Ether. Who was watching the stream the other day when we went from like $1,000 Ether up to like almost a $1,200 Ether? We went to 1166 on stream, so we went up from 1,000 to 1166 on stream. That was a pretty cool night. Again, it's not much, but it's honest work. Oh, no. 35.1. Let's see if we come back up. That was as low as we went earlier. Yeah, of course you can draw the lines differently. Whatever. Ethereum Bitcoin's still doing okay. It's at 316. Who's ready to see a 30-cent ADA? I feel like I'm ready to see a 30-cent ADA. Do you guys remember in 2017 when ADA went from like, I distinctly remember it because I was watching the markets and it went, if I remember correctly, ADA went from like 2 cents to 13 cents, like really quickly, super quickly. And then a week later, it went from 13 to 39 cents. And that was insane. And then like the following week, it went like 39 to like 76 cents. And then like a week or two later, it then went from like 76 cents up to $1.38. It was a crazy move. Crazy move. Travis, we can see your Yeah, that ADA move in 2017 was insane, and 2018. Huh. Someone said if you're Canadian, you're seeing 30-cent ADA. Remember, if Bitcoin, even at these levels, if Bitcoin cools down for a couple days, I mean, it's so far overextended. The rest of the market just wants to explode as soon as Bitcoin calms down. When Bitcoin calms down, if it doesn't just have a huge capitulation wick, um, expect the rest of the market to start moving. Right? I would expect the rest of the market to start moving as long as Bitcoin doesn't have like a massive capitulation wick. It looks like we're coming down a little. Ethereum's, if we go back to Ethereum, it looks like it's at 1105. I don't know why we're looking at weekly charts. Pretty nice move for Ether here. So we need 9 more hours to get to the end there. All right, so Bitcoin's coming back down here a little. 34,800. We still have around an $1,100 Ether. It's basically been around. It's essentially been between 1,000 to 2,000 for a few days now. I feel like all of us are going to look back on this time and think about how insane it was. I mean, it could last for a while longer, but I feel like it's just gonna be one of those things we remember. Kind of like the 2017, the late 2017 move, the early 2017 move. We're gonna look back and remember this time pretty distinctly. Yeah, these are 1-minute charts. Someone says 1 minute gives them anxiety. You should have seen the 1-second charts earlier. We were going through. All right, what does the chat think? What does the chat think here? Are we coming back down? Are we doing that, or are we gonna push higher? What do you guys think? Personally, I would prefer it to come down for a little bit and give alts, give other coins some breathing room for a little bit. Xenon says he wants Ether to reach 1200. I'm right there with you, man. I want it to reach 1200 too. I think we just need to give it, maybe we just need to give it a little bit more time, not rush it too much. See what Ether's doing. Okay, so it's slightly below 1100 now. All right, so the Bitcoin's coming down a little here. Ether Bitcoin is dropping a little too, so it's down to point. Oh, so it looks like pi 3.14159. Isn't that it? 3.14159.263. 3.1415. Isn't pi 3.14? Oh, it's gone. Whatever. Key missed opportunity. Dominance still less than 70%. $3.14159.265. Okay, yeah. So our top is 35,868. So about $1,000. It's $1,000 higher than where we currently are. Let's see. Dot's moving down here a little. Still around $10. ADA's still a champ here at 26 cents. I'm pretty proud of ADA, honestly. 26-cent ADA. It's pretty great. I'm not gonna lie. Should we go back to the 1 second chart and really give people anxiety? Why don't we switch over to the 1 second? Now this is anxiety producing. I feel like I could like sit here and just watch this like for hours. I feel like I could just sit and watch the 1 second chart and just watch the price. Let's zoom out a little bit. What a breakout. A pretty impressive breakout. Let's see. So if Ethereum does continue this, then maybe by 9 hours or so. All right. I don't know. Maybe I'll cut the stream early tonight. All right. Okay, so Ether's 1100. The dominance, we're still less than 70. DOT 976. ADA 26 cents still. Link is still less than 15. I don't know. The markets. We did a pretty extensive live stream earlier, so I don't really want to recover all the same stuff we covered on that live stream. The actual useful stuff we talked about. It would just get too repetitive since it was just earlier today, and not a whole lot has changed. I mean, a little bit has changed, but not a whole lot. Maybe we should all just go to sleep, get a good night's sleep, wake up, see what tomorrow has. I mean, if you guys want to keep the party going, we also do have a Telegram channel. We're closing in on 12,000 members, so remember to check that one out. I just posted it in the chat. I'm honestly right now, the two main coins that I feel like are Ethereum's good, right? Don't get me wrong. I'm pretty excited about Ethereum, and I want to see it pop up to $1,200. But I mean, Bitcoin has the show right now, and ADA's a champ. ADA's being a champ right now, at 26 cents. I mean, it was 20 cents earlier today, so it's a pretty impressive move by ADA. Let's see if it can continue. I mean, look at this ADA move. Look at this. From at the bottom on January 2nd, it's up 67%. From the December 23rd bottom, it's up 110%. I mean, it's doubled. It's doubled in the last 2 weeks. I mean, it was legitimately, it bottomed at around 12.5 cents 2 weeks ago, and it's over 25 cents now. That's a 2x in 2 weeks. Yeah, I am pretty bullish on ADA for the next few years, so we'll see where it takes us. I'm not accumulating here anymore. I have more than enough ADA at this point, but I am pretty bullish on it the next few years. let's see. We've come back down about 10 billion now. We're back down to 30 billion or so. Yeah, Cardano is the same as ADA. ADA is the token. Alright guys, I feel like we've done some solid work today. I think some solid work. We've ushered in a 26-cent ADA, which is great, right? That's enough work. I mean, that's an honest day's work right there. Link, it's still holding off, not really doing a whole lot. DOT hasn't really done much in a few days. Again, we have very high expectations. Ether, it's more or less been biding its time for a day. We'll see what tomorrow brings, right? We'll see what tomorrow brings. Okay, Bitcoin's back above 35. Maybe by tomorrow Bitcoin will be 36 or 37. But, you know, I don't want to sit here forever and watch the price. I mean, so the local, so let's just do the 15-minute. So yeah, we'll see if we push higher later on, or if we end up coming back down to the 34K range. Some people are talking about the 4-hour. Taking a double top. Alright. One last peek data. Alright, 26. Alright, why don't we call it? There's plenty of other stuff to do. So make sure you subscribe. Give the video a thumbs up. Turn on your alerts. Check out the Telegram channel. And check out the premium list in the description below. We'll wrap it up there. We'll see what tomorrow brings. So we'll jump back into the crypto. Well, we probably won't really leave it, but we'll jump back on tomorrow. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Bye.